Hello, my name is Joel Delgado. I'm your host. This is Failfection, and we're going to go ahead and get it started. Now, today's podcast is a little different. We're going to be talking about things ranging from Drake being cut off on stage at the Grammys last night to going completely digital in 2019. And what are the benefits, and should you do it? How can you do it? Now, we're not going to go too much in depth of how, but at least an explanation will get your mental juices flowing, kind of allowing you to think about the benefits of going completely digital, because there are some benefits, but then there are some downsides to it. Now, we're going to go ahead and start off with today's quote like we always do. And today's quote is from Teddy Roosevelt, and it's "Believe you can, and you're halfway there." Now, that quote speaks for itself. You got to think, you have to believe in yourself first. You know what I mean? You have to believe in you first. You have to believe in what you're doing first in order to actually execute and, work your way up to that point, to that goal that you made for yourself. Now, that's pretty much it. Believe in yourself, and make sure that you keep striving, because you're the only one at the end of the day that is going to believe in you, right? Someone could believe in what you're doing, but believing in yourself is the first step. That's that self-reassurance that you're going to want to have, and it's going to be amazing to have when you finally do make it, right? Because if you're sure of yourself, you can do anything. Confident, walk tall, and make moves. Now, the first topic that I want to get into, right? Drake last night. If you guys don't know Drake, he's a recording artist from Canada, but he's a man that really doesn't need an introduction. He is that dude when it comes to music in the 21st century. So I pretty much was watching it yesterday on my off time, and I thought that it was a really good story, because I do follow hip-hop culture, and I do look into it. And the Grammys, the Grammy committee does have a history in snubbing a lot of hip-hop recording artists, and it's a little crazy to me. However, this was a little bit rude. This was something that was really abrupt, and it kind of almost seemed like it was, it was blatant. I feel like this was premeditated, honestly. The things that he was saying was enough for a network to want to take him off of the mic. So they cut him to commercial as soon as he got into the meat of his speech, of his Grammy speech for Best Rap Song of the Year, and it was crazy. He went on to say, and this is what really pertains to the story, to this podcast, right? So he was highlighting the fact that you don't need a Grammy. You don't need you don't need numbers, is what I'm saying. You don't need that. You need people that are supporting you. If you have a group of people supporting you, that's enough to feel successful, right? You don't measure success in numbers. You measure success in happiness and how you feel like your music is affecting people, how you feel like what you're doing is affecting people, right? If it's touching people, that's as much as you can ask for. Now, numbers, when you're talking numbers, obviously money is the number that anybody cares about, right? But the money does come. The money will follow, with the following that you get. And I really understood what Drake was talking about when he said, you don't need that. And I immediately took that as, that's perfect for the podcast. Everybody needs to listen to that. That's from the biggest man in music saying that he doesn't care about a Grammy. And if the biggest man in music, that's like a ring, you know what I mean? That's like a Super Bowl ring. That's like getting to the championship. You won a Grammy. Every great talent in history has a Grammy, so you got to think that is a championship ring, and he pretty much nonchalantly brushed it off like, okay, yeah, obviously he has them, right? So that's coming from somebody that has a ridiculous amount of accolades, and it's kind of hard to think how somebody like that could, throw away an award, pretty much, right? How can you throw away such an honor, right? But he is down to earth, at least to the point where he's able to tell you that it doesn't mean anything. A trophy is a trophy at the end of the day. If the trophy is all that history had to remember his song, that song wasn't enough. You know what I mean? Now, he has a whole bunch of memorable songs, but, that Grammy, just because that song has a Grammy, that's not his best song. That's not his most listened to song. That, it doesn't necessarily have to be that. However, it kind of goes back, with everyday life. You might do something great, and you think that, at work, you're head honcho, you're like the best at what you do, and you get recognition for that. However, you want to stay grounded, you want to stay level-headed. You don't want to think that you're better than the next guy, right? You always want to be able to help somebody else, right? So, and Drake's actually known for helping other people. He's very famous himself. It's said, from if you get a cosign from Drake in the hip hop world, you're gonna do good. Your career is gonna jump start. It's something that everybody hopes for, that is on the rise, right? So if he's rallying behind these people, and giving them careers, essentially, the least you can do is help the next guy. If you are doing that good in life at work, because that's a huge aspect of life, it's work. So if you're that good, you want to uplift people around you. You want to make sure that these people around you that you call coworkers, you're only as good as your weakest link. So you want to make sure that, your team as a whole is good. Everybody needs to be good. Everybody needs to know that regardless if you're doing amazing things, and you're getting, you're getting recognition for it, you have to let people know around you, and you have to feel that recognition, although it's nice and it's very, very welcomed, you don't want to feel like that's all you have to assess your accomplishments or achievements. Now, that's enough about Drake. We're going to go ahead and continue on about going completely digital, right? Now, going completely digital, and I'm using that with quotation marks around, it's not as easy as you'd think, but when you do get set up and everything's good and flowing, you will feel like you live a very seamless life, because everything does operate. Everything can operate off of your mobile phone, and there's mobile banking, and I mean completely online banking, to where if you have to go to the bank, or if you need to do something like that, like go to the bank, you'd go on their website, and that'd be essentially your bank, and anything that you need would get sent to you very quickly. So one overnight shipping, 2-day shipping, and I think Ally is the biggest online banking right now that you could do, and that's like the premier in online banking. There's not really too many online banks, but Ally I know is like the best online bank that you could possibly have. Their customer reviews are good. I looked them up on the Better Business Bureau, and they are like very good. So it's definitely definitely something to consider, especially nobody really likes to go to the bank. The bank is something that a lot of people try to avoid, and if you're trying to do anything like purchase a house, purchase a car, things like that, I honestly did not have to go to a bank when I got a car loan a few years back. I didn't have to go in a bank, and that was a few years back. Like I'm saying, moving forward in the future, there's actually ways that you can purchase cars online. There is an app called Fair, and there is a website and also an app called Carvana. And those are two companies that everything is completely online. I'm talking e-signatures and everything. You don't have to talk to anybody about a car. They literally will deliver your car to your front door, and that's insane. I do plan on buying my next car within the next year or so. So maybe I will go ahead and see how that works, and I might even do a video kind of outlining and explaining, going through that process, because that is pretty interesting. I did watch a YouTube video on it. It seemed pretty easy, but again, I have to check for myself. I have to make sure that it's good for myself. Now, aside from buying cars, banking, we're talking online shopping. That's something that people do every day. Probably just got done online shopping before you listen to this podcast or during this podcast. So you're talking online shopping is taking over. Amazon especially. Amazon is doing great, and they are implementing a lot of these changes that they're almost seamless, because you don't see them, you don't hear about them, but you log on to Amazon and one day they're selling food, and then now they're selling groceries. Now there's Amazon Fresh, right? So there was Amazon Pantry or Prime Pantry, then there's Amazon Fresh. Now Amazon Fresh, you can literally get store-bought groceries to your home, and it's crazy. There's time slots. You're able to go ahead and order them and have them in the morning. You can get them before you leave to work. I've seen times where they have delivery schedules for before 7 a.m., which is crazy. So you'll definitely be able to grab your groceries before work, put them away, make yourself some lunch for the work day, and then go off to work. And that's cool. But other places do that. Walmart, I know you can order and pick up groceries, and Walmart, at least around my area in northeastern Pennsylvania, you're looking at any Walmart in the area really delivering. So you're able to food shop from your computer and buy groceries. Everything is able to be done from your house. Now, there's a ridiculous amount of more things. I can go on forever about what you can do online nowadays, but the thing for me, and how you interact with a human being on a day-to-day basis, that's the interaction that I feel like a lot of people are gonna miss, and that's going to be something hard to get used to, because there are people now where practically it makes sense to go ahead and purchase something online. Sometimes, especially on Amazon, if you go ahead and utilize some of the coupons that they do offer, and you can use subscription services on Amazon, you can bring those prices down really low. So practically speaking, financially speaking, it makes sense to order these things on Amazon, especially if you do have a Prime account. Prime accounts are, I feel like almost everybody has one now. But there are those onesie twosie people that do not have a Prime account. But majority of the people that I do know and that I come into contact with